What up, though, Junkies? Welcome to another stupendous episode of Culture Junkies Live, episode 367. I am your host, Kenshiro, an avid comic book junkie and anime junkie. But, you know what? We've been eating real good. Really good lately. If you think about it, right? Being addicts of pop culture like we are, we have no shortage of things that are vying for our attention. And, it comes to a point that you almost feel like it's just way too much out there, right? So there's so much to consume, and you want to consume it all, but you kind of can't. So you really need to cope with a second, third, fourth, fifth helpings. It's something like Thanksgiving dinner, but it's like a bottomless pit. It's like a buffet that never ends of culture. So we're dealing with culture gluttony and how we all can cope with it, whether it be collecting, whether it be like my co-host who's going to be talking about games in a second. How do we all cope with culture gluttony and all that entails? So as I was alluding to before, today with me, as always, sitting to the right of me is the great Adakuji. What's up, my friend?
Hello, everybody. I'm glad you have joined again this week. Sorry, I'm stroking my beard because it feels nice.
No, that's all right. And sitting across me, manning the digital dulcet tones of the soundboard, the dapper one GQ.
Baskin Robbins always finds out.
31 flavors, right? Anyway, I want to say hello to Mrs. Amarak. Send our bestest to Mr. Amarak. Hope you feel better, my friend.
Panelist,
man. And the other Steve is here. Wolverine Solid X is here. What's up?
We got a whole nother panelist.
And we do have a whole nother panelist. I'm going to get to her in a second. And returning after a while, a successful Kickstarter campaign for her, I think, third issue of The Path of the Pale Rider. Lori Calcaterra is here, right?
Yes. Hello, everybody. Yes. It was a long campaign, but it was very successful, and I'm glad to be back on the show.
Yeah, we missed you. I'm sure you, but you know what? Time away was time well spent. I mean, this woman put her nose to the grindstone and was literally marketing nonstop. I saw her. I can attest to it.
Still marketing. I have there's a last chance campaign going on Indiegogo right now with just books. There's no crazy stuff because the books are funded, but there's some exclusive covers, and some people like Indiegogo and they won't go on Kickstarter. So we're there now. So if people are interested in picking up some comic books, all three of them are there. So
yeah, speaking of special covers, I know that one cover that you put out there, kind of racy one that was out there as a Kickstarter promo. Might have to talk about that one. Just saying. Might have to talk about that.
Wait a minute, what is this?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. I was like, what is this, man? I didn't think she got down like that. Woo. Exactly, man. Exactly. Anyway, guys, if this is your first time watching the Culture Junkies Live, thank you for being with us. We typically go for about an hour, and the first 45 minutes of that is filled with the main topics of the show. But the last 15 minutes is dedicated to you, the people, and our Power is Yours segment. So there is also, let me let you know how the show works. Additionally, the follow goals on over my shoulder, my right shoulder, will trigger the giveaway from GQ's Treasure Chest, where you can win like DVDs, comic books, box sets, and other maybe prize collectibles that you. Basically physical DVDs, media, because this man believes in nothing but physical media, so you might be able to win some physical media. But also, if you are having so much fun and we're doing a really good job, we welcome all kind of bits and cheers. And if you fill the extra life meter over here on my left shoulder, we'll tack on an extra 15 minutes to the show. It's kind of like if we're doing a good job and you want to kind of reward us for it, we'll reward you with another 15 minutes. You can trigger that goal twice, by the way. All right, guys, so let's run the gamut. So we got some quick news that we want to hit to. First and foremost, I'm going to get to sending our best wishes to triple threat entertainer Jamie Foxx, who is still in the hospital. He's not out of the woods. He's been hospitalized with a mystery illness. They haven't really disclosed exactly what it is that he's been suffering from. But, it
was heart related.
Okay, if it's heart related, it might be high.
Mentioned that it was related to heart related.
Yeah. There's no official word, so we don't know that. Everything is speculative, but apparently with him being in the hospital, he may have been very, very close to not being with us anymore, but his family is asking for prayers. So we send our thoughts and well wishes to him in a speedy recovery. Any extra comments we get?
I hope he does get well soon, but never know what's going to happen. So have fun while you're here.
Yes, that's right. Enjoy life. Enjoy life while you got it. Yes, life is 100% short.
Unless you live to 105 years old.
And then just fucking die.
Yeah, that was my great aunt, rest in peace, just passed. She was 105.
Yeah, so man.
Can't feel sorry for that.
Man,
that's just my opinion.
That's a long life well lived.
A long time. Sorry that everybody's going to miss her, but her life, that's a long life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. We should all be fortunate enough to live that long.
That'd be super awesome.
100%. So, you know what else was surprisingly, well, maybe not super awesome, but it was surprisingly really good. The Gran Turismo trailer dropped yesterday. And I admit, I was super skeptical about this movie when they even talked about it. But watching that trailer, I was like, okay, might be able to get behind this. GQ, what do you think?
It looked fun. Like Dido was talking about earlier during the show, it's based on a true story. Yeah, David Harbour's in it, so that's good enough for me.
Was it good enough for you to watch Hellboy?
I mean, I saw Hellboy in the theater, like the newer one.
Okay.
It was bad, but you know.
But David Harbour was in it, so it was good for you.
Whatever.
Okay.
All right.
I got you. I got you.
Failed, but they tried anyway.
Hey, nothing beats a failure but a try. All right, guys. So Jim Lee, we all know him, comic book legend, legendary artist from Marvel and DC. He's just gotten a promotion. He is now the chief creative officer and publisher of DC Comics. Like, he oversees the entire brand now. At first, it was just a VP role that he had, but now he's taking on the big man role. He is now, I guess, equivalent to Stan Lee in Marvel. I guess Stan Lee, like back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. I guess you could say. So I don't know what to think of this one.
We're gonna get another reboot every 2 years.
Hey, as long as he actually sees what's going on, the progression and stuff. You're talking about comic book side, right?
Yeah, comics.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the dude's been living and dripping in comic books his whole entire life. I don't see how you would take any of that stuff and try to jack it up. There are people out there who do the business side and try to control the artistic side. Mm-hmm. Maybe he knows both sides and is going to try to keep progressing DC as
he definitely knows both sides. I mean, he's one of the founders of Image Comics back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue I have is DC's modus operandi is to basically reboot every 2 or 3 years. So we've had like New 52 and then Rebirth and then whatever this other new one is. So I'm sure
Dawn of DC.
Hopefully,
yes,
this will be it. So once Jim Lee gets in there, we're done rebooting. Every couple of years because that's annoying.
I don't know if that'll ever end. If I'm being honest,
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if that'll ever.
Probably
end.
Gonna keep rebooting because when it comes to telling stories, a story will end, and then you can try to continue it, but I don't know how that works.
They're kind of trying, but honestly, the fear with American comic books, especially with the big two, Marvel and DC, is that they keep trying to cater to the readers that they've had, while also they want to basically have it both ways. They want to get new readers, but they want to keep their old readers. They don't want to alienate their old readers because they're the ones that supported them. But they also want to get these new readers because they know their old readers eventually will die off. So how do you sustain a brand when you're trying to cater to the young and old, but everything stays the same and gets rebooted every few years?
Do it like
who knows?
Ford used to do it.
Yeah, and plus I think a lot of times they're forced to keep writing these characters. They can't put them on a shelf and wait for any period because they'll lose their licensing.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to continue to write. So when they're either bringing in a new writer or they're shifting people around, it's a perfect time to kind of reboot the story and start fresh. And I think that's their kind of way of just continuing with that character, with that property, and trying to keep it interesting. But it just depends on who's in the writer chair, like, who's the executive who's editing and saying like, you can't go there, or you need to go there, depending on, I don't know, what's the hot topic going on in culture.
Well, as long as they drop Booster Gold, I'll be all right.
You mean drop, get rid of them?
Yeah, I mean, Booster Gold is annoying.
I don't know. I don't read his.
I mean,
comics.
with that Blue Beetle movie coming out, you never know. He might be that post credit scene. Just saying. Anyway, speaking of people that need to get dumped, the Flash executive producer. You know this movie. You know the Flash is supposed to be coming out next month. You know DC execs have. Well, excuse me. Warner Brothers Discovery execs have this nagging, annoying habit of sticking their foot in their mouths. Right. First, it was David Zaslav saying The Flash is the greatest comic book movie he's ever seen. Now the Flash executive producer is out here saying that he says after you see the movie, you'll forget all about Ezra Miller's off-screen troubles.
Nope. No, we won't. It's not how it works. We're not goldfish. We're not going to forget all the BS that this guy has done in real life.
Like, I don't understand what possessed him to even say such a thing.
What a great way to bring it back into, our minds is to mention it.
Exactly. Like, it's not like we forgot about it before, but you mentioning it certainly isn't going to get it out of our minds. I'm just saying,
Right.
It's not. This is stupid, but I mean, it's not. It's just about as stupid as that one Microsoft exec that said, "Well, yeah, if you want to stay online, you got the Xbox 360." When they were trying to sell the Xbox One.
Yeah.
So it's like,
are you an idiot? Like seriously?
Okay. I mean, if you don't want me to buy your new system, fine.
Just say that. Really, just say that.
Again, there are a lot of there's a lot of people that should not have a microphone placed in front of them. Let's just leave it at that. I guess I'm not one of those people.
Yeah, not everybody is built for the limelight. Like, they freeze under pressure. You stick a mic in mic in front of their face, and they're liable to trip all over their words when they're trying to express themselves.
Yeah,
they're not clever enough to really navigate and be media savvy. Clearly, this guy isn't it. Go ahead, Dado. Or
they don't care because I'm rich and you're not. And
well, there's plenty of that. I mean, you could always be like Dylan Brooks, who literally talked his way out of a job. If we're being honest, this man ran around, said, "Hey, LeBron is old. I don't care. I don't respect him until he drops 40 on me." His whole team loses by 40, and then in the last game of his series, and then what does Dylan Brooks do? He dips. Yeah. It's contractually obligated for you to talk to the media and talk your talk.
Oh, he get fined for that?
They get fined for that 100%.
Wow.
And this dude dipped. He didn't do it not once. He did it every time they lost. Every time they lost. See, when they won, he was happy. He was chirping. He was there. But when they lost, he couldn't find him.
It's one of those things where, like I said, not everybody needs to have a mic placed in front of them. It's really bad to make it a contractual obligation to have some NBA players speak because some of them are dumb as a box of rocks.
That's true.
They should not be put into a position where they have to get in front of a camera and talk.
So
if you're good at playing, that's awesome.
But that's the problem.
If you are not great at speaking, don't make them speak because it just makes people because again, a lot of them are minorities. Makes them look really dumb. So they should stop doing it.
So I hear you on that, and we could totally revisit this a little bit later, but we need to move on to the main topics of the day. So first thing I wanted to talk about is something that should concern all of us as fans of pop culture, and that is the now official writers' strike. The Writers Guild of America has gone on strike, shutting down production on everything that's filmed on screen, whether it be a movie, whether it be TV, whether it be live action, the late night shows, which were the most immediately affected because they immediately went into reruns. So Saturday Night Live, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel Live, all those shows, reruns. We're not going to get any new ones until the writer's strike has been absolved. So now, the reason I say this is important for us is because this could drastically affect a lot of the shows that we know and we love. It's interesting that House of the Dragon was pushed out to not this next year, but the year after. Same thing with The Last of Us. It's almost like HBO knew this writer's strike may happen, and it was like, you know what? We're not going to ruin this show. We're going to let the writer's strike happen, and we're just going to push this all the way out until the writer's strike eventually gets resolved, because it will get resolved. But we remember the last time the writer's strike happened was in 2007. There was a little show called Heroes that everybody loved on NBC. It was a hit show in season 1. 24 episodes of awesomeness. Season 2 hits. The first few episodes of season 2 were great. The writer strikes hit, and the show hit a nosedive, and it never recovered. That's what could happen with the writer strike. What do you guys think of the writer strike, and what would you like to see resolved?
Personally, I like to understand the writer strike. I like to know more.
Okay.
I understand that people want to try to get the best wages that they can get,
Mm-hmm.
and I do know a lot of things in entertainment is almost any job. If you think about it, money goes in, money comes back.
Right.
Majority goes to the people who do not do the most amount of work.
Right.
And the least amount of it goes to the people who do the most amount of work.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like to understand what it is about. What don't they?
So
think that's
I'll fill in
fair?
the blanks a little bit, but I want to get GQ's perspective on this. You've been on a few sets.
I'll go last.
You want to go last? Okay. Well, Lori, you do indie films, but I think you've been around more than a few sets. So you maybe, even though you don't have like a SAG after card, I don't know. That's an assumption. I don't know if you do or you don't. But,
I do not.
Okay, but you know what it's like to be a creative, a writer, be on film sets, and know the type of work that goes into that. So one of the sticking points, and this is for Dido's edification, and you can speak to it too. Part of the sticking points is that the writers want to guarantee that the producers won't be able to treat them as just easily replaceable commodities. What they mean by that is that they want to turn all writer jobs into freelance, so that at a moment's notice, if they don't like you, they'll just drop you. So writers, if you guys didn't know, they don't really make a lot of money. But you could, but it could be argued that what they provide to a production is the most important part of the production itself. So go ahead, Lori. Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying, like, the writer is kind of the unsung hero in a lot of, even in comic books. Like, I write the story, and people are very interested in the art. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with the movie set. I could write the script, but it's like, it's the actors and the big name directors who get, the spotlight behind these huge multi-million-dollar, but who's writing the script? Like, who wrote Thor Ragnarok? You know what I mean? Who wrote Endgame? Who, it's like the directors and the actors get the spotlight. So these, I completely understand what they mean, where it's like, they can not only replace you, and this is a huge fear of mine about taking my scripts to Hollywood, where it's like, okay, you're new. We're going to rewrite your stuff. We're going to pay you $500, and then we're going to bring someone else in and change all your characters and change the plot of your story. So then, is it my story anymore?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it's like, you would lose creative control over your own project. And that's a scary thought.
Mm-hmm.
They're breaking up.
No, we got you. We got you. Go ahead.
I think that's part of the reason why, I mean, obviously movie making especially and TV shows are very collaborative venture. You have writers' rooms, you have, full on table reads and everything with scripts, when you first, get the entire cast together, stuff like that. The writer is obviously a very integral part of that, but I think from the studio side of things, because they get that little core story of whatever it is, they know that they're going to have somebody come in and do rewrites. They know that they're going to have, the director's going to come in and do this or do that. They know that depending on the film, especially if Ryan Reynolds is involved, they know that there's going to be ad libs and all that sort of thing. So I think it's an unfortunate thing that they're doing, but in a sense, it's like the writer has one, again, a very major part of it. But by the time they're done, like, to Lori's point, how much of that story is still what she originally wrote after it's gone through committee after committee after committee? Now, one of the things that I did hear related to this is the writers, not so much the freelance side of it, the writers almost wanted to guarantee that, no, we're going to be on, attached to this project whether you need us or not. I think that was one of the
sticking points for the producers.
of the
They said
negotiation.
absolutely not.
Now,
Mhm.
to me, that's a bridge too far. If I legitimately need, let's say, for example, I'm doing a movie or a show or something, and I've got a writer's room of 7 writers. If 5 of those writers aren't writing anything, why should I be paying those writers?
Which is a fair point.
So
right?
I think, I look at it from both sides, but I think it's a slippery slope in the sense of, would you even get any of these shows, movies, et cetera, even done if you didn't have writers to begin with? And once you have those things written, how much of the writer's material are you keeping? So I think that's where your negotiation and all your the issues are probably happening. What's up to Sam Taro Games and Hand of Omega?
Hello, Sam. Hello, Hand. One of the other sticking points is they want to really get ahead of the AI revolution. They want to curtail AI from being used as a extremely, and I mean extremely, cheap replacement for their skill set.
Look, you put that on there, and AI, it is something that's brand new now. It does do things that help, but they should not be afraid of what's going to happen. I don't know if anybody out there know who the YouTuber Casey Neistat is. My wife was a big fan of him. We used to watch him all the time, every once in a while. He did a video not too long ago where he went to AI and had it script out an episode for him, and he said he was going to do everything that the AI. It was like, no, it's terrible.
Yeah,
it literally was terrible.
Yeah.
So they should not be afraid. Maybe 20 years down the line, but right now, I wouldn't even be worried about that.
I think it may.
I think about be like 5 years.
Yeah, I think it may progress way faster than you think, than you believe.
Yeah.
So they would rather get ahead of it now than wait until it's too late, which I think is reasonable.
And we're seeing AI develop really quickly in the comic book world because people are using AI to do a whole comic book and not even hiring a live artist anymore.
Wow.
That whole issue with the hands that was a problem with AI, it's already learned how to fix it.
Oh, yeah.
See, there you go.
That was
a
few months ago.
They can draw hands. It's no longer your Rob Liefeld of hands.
It was doing like 11 fingers with like 3 or 4 joints. It was really messed up. Like that's how you could tell it was AI, is look at the hands, because it didn't understand how hands work. But it does now.
Yeah, it 100% does now.
And Omega said we should be on the side of the writers. It depends. I side with whatever gets it done. That's how I.
It's very ambiguous.
No, it's not even really about that, because again, I understand it from both sides of things. From a creative side, I get it. You definitely want, fair compensation for the work that you put in, especially given how much these films, TV shows, and the amount of money they generate. I also understand that from a student. I mean, the thing is, you can be working on a script, but unless that script has already been optioned and you're already basically essentially getting paid to write that script, there's no guarantee that script's going to get picked up. Yeah, unless that script has been optioned, or unless you're a part of a recurring show or a show that's already, in progress or whatever, your script isn't guaranteed to be part of anything.
That's true.
So, I mean, they have to, again, I get it. You want to get paid for your work. That's everybody should. But you have to also be realistic in the sense of, if I'm not working at the time, why should the company be paying me to not work at the time?
Yeah.
That's a little bit much.
Yeah. I'm not really too prevalent on how guild stuff is, because you said are they a guild or are they a
Writers Guild? But it's essentially it's a union.
Because my little knowledge of how guilds should work, and this comes from watching anime.
Oh my gosh. Here we go. Go ahead.
They have a guild of which you somehow get a part of, and they have certain jobs,
like a job board.
Yeah, and you get paid based on whatever job. So I can only assume that's what they're on the studio ends are thinking. Like, you get paid for if you're on this job, and when you're not on this job, you don't get paid. So it's not like going into working at Little Caesars or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Where you're there every day.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. All right.
Like, it's like commissions. It's like commissions, like an artist. Like, someone can hire me to write a script for their specific story where there's already an outline, or I could be producing scripts that I have to sell to somebody. You know what I mean? But It's different than, like you said, than putting on like the uniform and showing up every day and putting in hours. It's not the same.
No, it's not. All right, we got to leave it there. We got a little bit of business to attend to, and then we will be right back with the culture gluttony topic.
The entire Culture Junkies crew would like to thank you for tuning into our programming. We hope you are enjoying our content as much as we enjoy making it. One thing that helps us continue bringing you our unique content is viewer support. By visiting the Culture Junkies Patreon page, you will have the opportunity to select the support level that works best for you. Not only will your support help keep the Culture Junkie Nation growing, but you will make yourself eligible to receive patron-exclusive swag. Please take a moment to consider supporting us and join the ranks of the supporters you see listed on the screen. We would like to also give a special shout out to our Culture Junkies level and above patrons: DeMarcus Smith, Fab Nerd Life, Nanette Net, The Other Steve, and Black Crowned Knight. Remember, for as little as $1 a month, you can support a Culture Junkie. Thank you.
All right, guys. So we live a charmed life as culture junkies. You know, we're constantly fed, you know, whether it be video games, whether it be anime, comic books, movies. There's always something new for us to watch and something for us to enjoy. That sometimes there may be extremely hit shows that are on a whole bunch of different streaming networks that we all want to watch, but we kind of can't. Or we all want to watch like I'd buy that like for $1. Endlessly growing Netflix queues.
Nerd Life.
Like the Netflix queue that always grows, but you never have time to watch it to empty it, right? You know, or Dido over here buying a new game because he wants to play it, but he never got time to play it.
I haven't bought one this week.
He hasn't bought one this week, but he will be buying one soon. I'm just saying. He's always adding to his collection. Or GQ buying. Well, it's a little bit different for collectors because, you know, when you buy stuff, you kind of just put it on the shelf and you kind of look at it, right? But anyway, we're not really complaining. We love all this stuff, but how do we deal with culture gluttony? Like when you've got the hit show that everybody's watching and you want to be in the know and you want to watch it, how do you deal with that when you ain't got all that kind of time, right? Or if there's a movie like Evil Dead, what is it? Evil Dead Rise? Yeah, Evil Dead Rise. You want to go see Evil Dead Rise, you know, kind of be in with it. See it before it leaves the theaters, but you got all this other stuff you really want to watch and pay attention to. How do you deal with that?
You don't.
I
mean, I don't know, because like Han says he needs a week to get caught up on Netflix. Man, it would take me a year to get caught up on Netflix.
It might take me 2 years.
I probably
honestly.
A year or two for Netflix alone. I mean, Crunchyroll would take me a while to get caught up on. Amazon not so much. Disney not so much, because all the stuff on Disney for their shows, I watch them as they come out,
right.
And all the old stuff. When I say old stuff, is movies I've seen, because Marvel movies, seeing when they come out. If it's something that's hot that Disney produced, I typically see it when it comes out.
Right.
HBO is kind of the same thing, where it's you know, take it or leave it. It's not like, you know, I got to get caught up with that stuff. So I mean, you kind of just, you know, whittle it away. Me personally, I watch anime every day. I put some on this tablet that I have in front of me when I'm on my lunch at work, half hour, 23-minute episode, I'm watching some anime.
Right. So and I guess that speaks to the point, right? Yeah. When you're making that conscious choice to consume anime, you're making that conscious choice to put something else aside. Like Head of Omega just said in the chat, he was like, I just end up staring at the wall with so many options. I do that too with Netflix. Like, he still hasn't seen Wednesday. I still haven't seen Wednesday.
See how you haven't watched Wednesday.
I still haven't seen Wednesday, and I want to, right?
So I watched all of Wednesday.
Right, and I want to watch it, but I just haven't.
No, I know the feeling.
You know what I mean? So, Lori, how can you relate? Like what do you got? An example of just go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's a problem. It for real is a problem. Because I'm obviously in indie comics, so I'm reading a lot of indie comics, and I don't even have a chance to read all the stuff that I want to read, let alone all the streaming and all the movies. Like, for me, if it's on streaming, I think that's kind of easier for me to consume, because I don't have to leave and I don't have to get a babysitter, right? But it's hard when stuff is in the movie theater, and then we have to pick and choose. And usually it's, you know, my husband and I are going together, we have to pick stuff that we both like, you know? So it's like, if it's D&D or if it's John Wick, we're seeing John Wick.
He wouldn't go see D&D, even though D&D was a great movie.
Now it's streaming.
It's streaming now.
It's not that it isn't a great movie. I'm not saying that it isn't. I'm saying that I will have to see it when it comes to streaming, or I'll have to keep finding babysitters, which is harder than it sounds sometimes.
Oh, I can relate. Yeah, no, I know that feeling. I know that feeling. Yeah.
So it's like, okay, we get one night where we can go to the movies. What are we going to see? Are we seeing, Mario, or are we seeing D&D? Are we seeing Evil Dead Rise, or are we seeing John Wick? So that's the problem, is when they all come out at the same time and you're like, I don't know what to choose. So usually it ends up being the one that my husband wants to see as well. And so we get together and see that. And then I either got to wait till streaming, or, I don't know, we can find another date night in the month.
Or the year, and some went maybe.
Or the year.
We're squeezing in somehow,
hit your
some
kids
way.
with the ripe fruit, where they grow them till they're like 20 years old. They're still mentally a kid, but you can have them stay at home by yourself because they look like adults.
Right.
And then that's a One Piece reference. Sorry.
Yeah, it is. He loves those.
I mean, we could go see like a Mario movie with the kids.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right?
Then you're hitting all the bases, right?
Right. But then we're missing John Wick and all the other stuff. So
decisions.
You just gotta pick and choose.
Who said adulting was going to be this hard, right? When you were kids, you could literally just consume it all and not have to care about nothing, right?
Gosh, how much movies that?
Man,
how many? I was at Blockbuster all the time.
Yeah.
Games, movies, and just,
movies, games, comics. Just didn't have nothing to do. Just consumed all day. Miss them days. I miss them days. Anyway, GQ, you what you guys say about culture's gluttony in this?
Being single and a selfish, very, very selfish individual, I don't have any of those problems. I can always go to whatever movie I want to go to. I can buy whatever game I want to buy. I can collect all the collectibles I want, because and again, it's a kind of a messed up, mean, charmed life, but I kind of don't really want anybody as a significant other. No, so it makes it easier. We don't have to worry.
You just don't like to share.
Oh, I definitely don't like to share.
Yeah, you just don't like to share. That's all. Anyway, so here's a peek at GQ's room. Where's the? Oh, sorry. Where's the? Oh no, black screen. I promise you, we're here. We're here. I promise you, we're here. We're here. Where's the
producer?
Where's the? I'm sorry.
BGO?
Yeah, where's the slideshow? Where's the slideshow? The slideshow. Where'd it go? It was there. It was there. It was literally there earlier. I don't know what happened to it. See if producer, see if you might be able to load those slides again. You know, just click on that in the guest promo and then open that slideshow.
Carol says I got to eat the phone.
Eat. Oh, I think that's a callback to Sharp.
I know.
It's a callback to Sharp. Eating the phone.
Handset I cut out, so I don't know.
Oh, eat the phone. Yeah, no, that 100% should be a shirt. Eat the phone.
Absolutely. No, but again, it goes back to being a very selfish individual. I don't like demands on my time. So when it comes to, if I want to see a movie, I'm going to go see a movie. When it comes to when to play a game, I'm going to buy and play that game. I don't like having to divide my time if I don't want to. So
wait, but you still deal with culture gluttony in a way, because even you don't. There's only 24 hours in a day. Yeah, you can't consume everything, right?
No, again, I'm very selective about what I consume as I get older. Anyway, back in the day, I pretty much played, watched damn near everything. The reason I don't even really watch anime as much is because it's like, well, unless it's a very short series, I don't really care. It's I will never sit down and watch One Piece.
I was just getting ready to say, so no One Piece in your future.
Yeah, too long bull crap. I could go on about that.
Because to me, yes, it's 1,000 episodes or whatever it is right now currently.
The thing is, the way I look at it, try not to change the topic, is that we've all watched a lot of anime, and when it ended, you're like, man, I wish I could have watched more because it's good.
Yeah.
One Piece is that anime. For one person who have seen the majority of those 1,000 episodes, it is that damn good to say, hey, I got something to look forward to, and I consistently have been for a while. So that's just how I look at it, because almost every show that I watched that was good, when it was over, I'm like, damn, I want more. I don't have that complaint with One Piece. Anywho.
Oh. You know what? Maybe my mic wasn't part of that slideshow scene.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened there.
So you guys won't get to see it. You just have to wait for a room tour.
Yeah, that actually sounds like a video you should do. But
Eat the mic.
yeah, eat the phone. I like that.
phone.
Yo, there you go. In any case, you know, Fab Never Life was saying is like she was saying it's embarrassing how much stuff she has to catch up on, and I can relate. There's a lot of stuff I have to catch up on. Stuff that you consciously make the choice to go without, or see later. You have to put everything into tiers, right? Must see now. I'll see a little bit later, and then stuff I'll get to it when I get to it. And as you get older and you have constraints on your time, whether it be your job or social outings or children, definitely not in the case of you, but just saying, but just in general, like you find you have to be more judicious with your time and your consumption of culture, because you might not watch something like, okay, full disclosure, I haven't watched a single episode of Lost. Like, and everybody says Lost is a legendary show.
It was
right
up until the end.
People said that about.
It wasn't until the writer's strike happened.
It wasn't until the writer's strike happened. Exactly. So we just talked about the writer's strike and how we talked about that.
The thing that came out of Lost was those damn lottery numbers.
And then the other thing is that I haven't watched yet, but really want to see is The Wire on HBO. Like, everybody says, "Oh man, The Wire is like one of the greatest shows ever." Snowfall, great show. I haven't watched it yet. It's over now. Like, I could probably binge it if I felt like it, but I'll get to it when I get to it. You know what I mean?
Feeling to watch something, because I have stuff sitting in my queue, and I put it there because I know one day I'm gonna come around to it. Because sometimes you just don't have that feeling to watch it. It's just like, it's there. I know I want to watch it, but there's other stuff I want to do. And it's kind of like that because what the heck was I watching that I binged through that now that they were done? I can't remember the name of it, but at the time it was going on, I was just like, whatever.
Right. And how do you guys cope with that when there's like, it never stops? Like, there's constantly something new coming out vying for your attention.
Just make time. Eventually, at some point, it's like, okay, yes, something else came out, fine. Watch the thing that you said you were going to watch before, and then when you get to that new thing or whatever, when you have time, start watching that. We have so many different ways to watch stuff, and it's like, and again, we're talking a lot about television and movies. Okay, same thing when it comes to collectibles and comics. It's like collectibles honestly is a slightly different market on that. It's like sometimes if you don't get it when it comes out, you're going to have to pay more for it, especially if it's a popular thing or a limited thing or whatever. Same thing with comic books.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them, if you don't catch it right away and there's no second print, be ready to pay the markup. So video games, not so much. Usually those get cheaper over time.
It depends.
Well, again, if it's a
Nintendo,
vintage something, or if it's, but if it's a new release, again, part of your philosophy.
Yeah.
When it's $20, I'll grab it.
Yeah. It does depend. If it's something from Nintendo, the Nintendo prices never go down.
Annoying with that.
Like, never.
Well, Sony did it too with Heavenly Sword. Remember, it took Heavenly Sword
oh my God,
20 years to finally drop in
yeah.
price.
It took forever for that game to get.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Said Lost is trash. Hand of Omega also earlier said that I guess Lost is the new Fifth Element for Kenshiro.
I suppose. I guess. I mean, you could say
But
that.
you
Say that
watch
about
the
The
new Twin
Wire.
Peaks?
You can say that about Snowfall, whatever. What was that?
He says it really depends on what your person into. Excited by new Twin Peaks was big. He's talking about because he watched it. I watched all the Twin Peaks.
Oh, Twin Peaks.
But I watched Twin Peaks. It
The
came
original.
out in the late 80s and the 90s. I didn't watch any of it until like 2-3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because at the time I didn't care.
We're in Solid X. There you go.
Just watch what is important to you. You can't see everything. But see, that's the problem. When you're a culture junkie and you're an addict, almost everything's important to you. You want to watch everything. You want to play everything.
Is it really?
Yes.
Or is it just
Yeah.
part of your brain makes you think that it's that
Oh,
important?
no.
At the end of the day,
100%. When you see a trailer, an enticing trailer, a movie, a TV show, it's like, oh man, that looks good. I really want to watch that. It's a common refrain. It's like, I want to watch that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to play that. I want to own that. I want to read that, that type of thing. It's a constant thing. I want to say it like you. It's really simple to be judicious with your time. Again, you only got so much time in your day. It's
Here's
not
the reason that I own so much physical media. Because at the end of the day, they can't take it away. They can't turn it off, take it off the stream. They can't delist it or whatever. I can always get around to any of those. I have a lot of movies that I wanted to see. Saw the trailer. Was like, oh, I should go see that in the theater. Missed the theater opportunity. Whatever. I'll just buy the 4K Blu-ray when it comes out and watch it at home.
But then, okay, case in point, right? You want to see a movie in the theater. It's a great example. I'm glad you brought that up. You want to see a movie in the theater. The trailer gets you. You want to go see it. You missed the window. Now it's available on streaming. So then your mindset switches to, oh, well, now it's on streaming. I can watch it whenever. It's not that important to see it. And then the next new thing comes along, and then you repeat the cycle all over again.
Usually, when I buy a film on Blu-ray, if I don't watch it that day, I'll usually watch it the following day. Because it's like, it's something that I do want to see. Like, for example, if they ever released Glass Onion, the Knives Out movie, on Blu-ray, I'd buy it right away and watch it again. I've already seen it. But that was one of those things where, like, when big theater movies come out, I don't miss them. Because like I said, right. I will go see whatever it is that I want to go see because I'm not going to wait for anybody to go see it. I'm not going to give anybody that opportunity to change my plans. My plans are just going to happen. So that's kind of, again, that's the selfish part of it, and also the advantage of single life.
Do you think we kind of like triage sometimes where it's like, oh, this is going to be out of the theater in a week. I need to go see that instead of this because I have more time to go see that other one.
I can see that happening sometimes. But at the same time, it may be a little bit of out of sight, out of mind because the marketing has died down. You don't really see it. So if it doesn't cross your mind, then it's like, oh, I missed my window. It's over. I'll have to wait till it comes to streaming. And then when it comes to streaming, it's like, oh yeah, I wanted to watch that. But then I got this other thing and I want to watch here. What takes precedence? This shiny new thing or this old thing that I can get to later?
So, culture junkie ADHD. Ooh, shiny things.
100%. Exactly. 100%. You get that.
We just got so many choices, and it is all about dictating your time. It was a time where, as you guys may know, I was picking my video games out to play with a roulette wheel. I figure, like, I'm not going to be able to, because there's also sometimes when you sit down, it's hard to make a choice.
Yes.
So I just let something else make a choice for me. And I mean, in that aspect, everybody has the time. They feel like they don't have the time, but if you actually sit down and, hour by hour, your whole, 24 hours, there's a time where you're not sitting around, you're not doing anything. And there's times, like I've said before to people, it's like, oh, I don't have time to watch this. I was like, you got a cell phone, you got streaming, you sitting on the toilet taking a shit. Some people do the quick shits. I don't. So I can watch shit on my phone if I wanted to. It is different for everybody, but you may have the time to watch this stuff if you really parse it out. And like, I managed to get through a lot of the games that I had at least 30, 40 games. And I think at the moment, because I took a break for some of those games, there's only like 4 or 5 left. And that was like a 3-year thing. I was just, beating the game. Nice. Beating the game. And then, so, I mean, we are eating good, as they say. It's a buffet.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a buffet for the geeks and the nerds and the culture junkies. It's a buffet. You can pick and choose exactly what you want. You just got to know what you want. Sometimes most of it comes to people just don't know what to do. So it's that can be the hard part. So I mean, I get it. We all get it. Just pick it, go for it, and move on. Like, you want to watch that Wednesday hand after this show is done, watch Wednesday. Because what else are you gonna do? If you're at home right now, you can watch Wednesday, or you can go on YouTube. You can watch Wednesday, or you can jack off. I don't know.
Wow.
I'm just saying,
okay,
you can do those things. Does that sound a little harsh?
You're saying you have options.
It's options. You can do those things. You just have to say, what am I going to do? Yeah, I know that sounds a little crass. We all do it. Get over it. We're adults here. Look, seriously. But yeah.
I didn't need to know that part about you. Thanks.
Well, you already knew it.
As he would say, it's a normal thing everybody
did, and people act like
so.
Whatever.
Anyway,
if you have type 2 diabetes like I have, you're confronted with choices.
Anyway,
it might fall off then if you got type 2 diabetes.
So, well, on that note, the power is yours.
The power is yours.
Louise.
No.
Oh my.
Don't feel
Yeah,
bad for
I-
enjoying
We got
yourself.
2 Lorries tonight. This is awesome.
Oh man.
Don't feel bad for
This
enjoying
is-
yourself.
Wow.
You enjoy yourself by watching what you want to watch, doing what you want to do, whatever that
You
is.
can do what Lori did. You can clone yourself. You can clone yourself, and then now you can get.
You know,
around to
honestly,
twice
that
as
is
much
that
stuff.
is 100% the secret to getting shit done.
Watching all the things.
Yeah,
No,
Kagebushi
yeah,
Clone
getting
no
shit
jutsu.
done. Clone thyself.
Kagebushi
100%.
no jutsu.
Here's the thing.
Um,
I couldn't see if I had clones of myself. Oh my goodness, that would be
Mm,
terrible.
scary thought.
I
Yeah,
say
scary
you're
thought.
going to work,
Ah,
you're going to school. I'm sitting home and watching all the anime and sleeping.
All right, guys. So the power is yours. We'll talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. What is on your minds
All right,
today?
Brad says never get in land war in Asia, but the historical blunder is never get into such war with Disney. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean
We
it's
talking about that idiot governor.
Mm.
well again. We've talked about it a few times, and obviously this isn't a political show. However,
Yep.
that's just a dumb move. It's
It
like
is.
it's clear that you are retaliating against the one company because of what was said. You're going to lose, and you're going to mess over the taxpayers because they're going to have to pay whatever the fallout settlement is going to be from this. So
Mhm.
it's not a good look.
Yeah. DeSantis is out there playing with other people's money, essentially, because it ain't gonna be him that's gonna have to pay.
All right, Fallen Marvel. So are people ready for Flash to make you forget about his? We
Yeah, we talked about that a
earlier.
little bit earlier, man.
Yeah, that man. Certain things just should not be said out loud.
unless the Men in Black show up and like wipe all of our memories. it's
Yeah,
not gonna happen.
exactly. Neuralizer. You just
Right.
look right here.
Right.
Exactly.
Ezra who?
Ezra who? Exactly.
Yeah.
Guy Jordan, Wolverine is the most overrated character in Marvel. I think he's literally.
Ooh.
I think he's firing
You're
shots
right.
in the chat there, and Wolverine Solid X says no. Deadpool is, which honestly I'm kind of on his side with that.
Well, that,
At this
I
point
think
now-
that's a debate.
Yeah, that is 100% debate.
But I can kind of see both sides. But just out of the years that I've been paying attention to things that are comic book esque, I have seen more Wolverine things than I've seen
absolutely.
Deadpool things.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
Wolverine was supposed, in my understanding, to be a one shot. He was supposed to get killed off a long time ago.
Yeah.
But he became popular and like to the point where he's leading the fucking X-Men.
Yeah.
So
And-
like
And honestly, I feel like being a more current reader of comics and the way Marvel has kind of pivoted and positioned characters, I feel like a lot of the focus on Wolverine has been dulled quite a bit. Spider-Man has stayed prevalent, rightfully so, right? But as far as X-Men goes, it's more about, I think, Storm has supplanted Wolverine as maybe the most popular cross X-Men.
really?
X-Men in general, yes.
I don't know.
because-
She didn't get a show yet that says Storm and the X-Men.
No, you're right. I'm just saying how prominent she features in a lot of the X books. Storm has a lot of coverage, like
Well,
everywhere.
Yeah, you married Black Panther.
Exactly,
Move up in the
right?
world. However,
Mhm.
throughout the 90s and early 2000s, the X-Men
it was-
for a lot of people was
It was
Wolverine.
It was Wolverine,
Wolverine.
yes,
Like, that
100%.
was- that was
Yes.
the character. Like you did not mention
Wolverine and
X-Men.
Dark Phoenix.
What's
we
that?
got.
What's that?
I said Wolverine and Dark Phoenix. Those are
Yeah.
the only two things we got.
Yeah. Like for the most part, like Wolverine was like that. He was the front man for the X-Men.
Yes.
I think he was in every episode. Not every X-Men in that cartoon was in every episode, but I think Wolverine was in every episode.
I think he
There
was
a few
close.
that he wasn't,
I don't-
but very few
Close,
in between.
yeah.
There was very few
he was
episodes
very,
that he was
very-
not a part
yeah,
of.
yeah.
Yes,
That voice
100%.
actor was getting mad work.
Yes, he was 100%. Will Flash tap into that No Way Home nostalgia energy? Would have been better if they got the Flashes from the 90s and the current shows in it instead of himself, an old Batman, which has little to do with the Flash. Now, that's interesting. So, No Way, speaking of nostalgia, Andy Muschietti did rack off a list of cameos that they had planned for the Flash that didn't make the cut. He says Grant Gustin was a part of that. I think he said John Wesley Shipp also was part of it. I think he mentioned that the Flash in his travels was supposed to touch various facets of DC, similar to what they did with Titans recently
Don't let
with
Ezra
Beast
Test
Boy, where he traveled all over and you heard like you saw Grant Gustin's Flash, You saw Teen Titans Go. You heard Cesar Romero's Joker from Batman 66.
Oh, good.
You know, they did a lot of things for that. I feel like Andy Muschietti was kind of like trolling in a way.
Mhm.
Like he's just saying this to say it, to appease some fans. Like, hey, we could have done this. You know, we could have had this out there, but we just didn't. We didn't have the budget for it. We had to cut it. Like, come on, man.
Just leave it alone.
Yeah,
It
shouldn't have
still
said it.
might be in there.
No.
Like Marvel didn't tell us all the cameos that were in the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. We knew some of them, but we didn't know all of them going into the movie. So there still could be some in there.
I
Maybe.
guess we'll have to wait and see. I just feel like he shouldn't even said it.
Exactly.
Right.
I think
Exactly. Why?
we're in a point where like I'm tired of people constantly putting stuff out there. It's just like, you know what, just let the movie speak for itself.
Oh my God, y'all. Here was
What?
one thing I 100% wanted to bring up and run the gamut that I didn't get to. And it's for everybody out there in the chat. This fool Snyder decided to say, decided to say his initial plans for the gods like Ares and Zeus was to have them to be ancient Kryptonians. And Ares was the one that shot down the Kryptonian scout ship that turned into the Fortress of Solitude in Man of Steel. Like he was saying that all the gods actually were really ancient Kryptonians, and that was why they were so super powerful. I was like, man, really? I was like, really, man? Really?
Trying to change the lore for no reason.
For no reason.
Yep, absolutely, Guy Jordan. Boo this man.
Boo this man.
Yeah, Fallen, they did spoil the Xavier cameo. But I think the Xavier cameo was one of those things where it's like they just put his voice in there and obviously the back of his head.
Mm-hmm.
We all know
You
who
knew
it
who it
was.
was.
I think that was really just the whole 90s X-Men Patrick Stewart, you know, Xavier is going to be in this film. So y'all already going to go see it. So here's a little.
Y'all
here's
know
a
who
little
I
something.
am.
But, you know, again, going back to, since you did bring up Beast Wars, that new trailer,
Yes.
showing Unicron looks amazing.
Yes, it does. 100%.
Yeah, that I can't wait for that.
Now,
that's gonna be fun.
This is the second movie without Michael Bay, right?
Yeah, Bumblebee was the first.
Still haven't seen Bumblebee.
Okay.
Bumblebee was good, dude.
Why did I think the last night?
Well, the gluttony, man, too much stuff.
The last night was the last Michael Bay movie, and we haven't had a proper Transformers movie since then, right? I mean, Bumblebee notwithstanding.
Oh, dude, Bumblebee counts.
Bumblebee, no, 100%
Bumblebee is what
counts.
leads into this.
Right. So wait. So we're saying, see, that's okay. So now here we go again with messed up timelines. Like, what was the other film? What was the other film franchise that had
X-Men?
Yes, the X-Men. Yes. Timelines
Their
make
timeline
no freaking
so messed
sense.
up.
Like, okay, so we're saying the Autobots are living in secret, and this movie takes place after Bumblebee, but before the first Michael Bay Transformers movie.
Nah, I don't think they're connected.
But that's what they're saying, right?
No, I think the Bay verse and this verse are two separate things.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So we've totally diverged
Now they
from that.
have, because you know they even show like at the, well, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh man, yeah, I
but
gotcha.
at the end of Bumblebee, there's something that shows that like, no, he's already been here.
Oh yes, yeah,
So
yeah,
it's
yeah.
kind of like,
Yeah.
they're trying to,
And he looked visually different.
yeah, they're
than the
trying
first
to-
Transformers.
Definitely
Yeah.
gonna try
But,
to get
you
to
know,
watch
it's
that
not-
movie pretty soon. There's a lot of movies because I've been sleeping on Cocaine Bear, sleeping on
Yeah, me too.
Megan, been
Yeah.
sleeping on Creed.
Yeah,
I've been
Megan
sleeping
was
on movies,
hilarious.
period, because
Megan was great,
don't want to
dude.
sleep.
Megan was 100% great.
All right, so Hen of Omega said, "Can we talk John Wick 4?" He was shocked that it ended the way it did. He thought there was going to be more. I don't think he's dead.
Wait a minute. Can we talk John Wick 4? I was honestly shocked it ended that way. I thought there was a lot more. Yeah, honestly, and with
I haven't seen it yet.
All right,
we're
we'll leave it
not
on.
going to say anything. but based on the amount of money that it has made, 100% John Wick 5 is on the table. Like
Absolutely.
they can't let this
Yeah,
die.
they're doing a damn show.
Yeah, they
I'm
are. They
still-
can't let this die.
He
Actually,
said as long as they wanted to make him, he would continue making them.
Yeah.
That's pretty much a blank
Exactly.
check. They're going to
Exactly.
keep making them.
Hold on. So is the when is this Continental supposed to come out? Because
I
obviously
think
with
it's
the
this year.
strike.
It's this year.
But was it?
Yeah, it's
already
but
gonna
has it
come
been
out,
done?
No,
though?
it's already been filmed.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about
Okay.
that.
Okay,
It's
good.
already been filmed.
All right, so
Yes.
I was about to say,
Yeah,
like,
right.
we lose the Continental, I'm mad. Like, come on, man.
Well, because we lost the gentleman. What's his name? the actor.
Lance,
Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
Yeah, Lance Reddick.
Lance Reddick. Yeah.
Right, Riddick.
Yeah.
We lost him, and
Right.
he's one of the main characters in freaking Continental.
All right, Gokai Red says thoughts on the Gran Turismo movie. I'm pretty interested in it, and it looks realistically good. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit earlier in Run the Gamut, and 100%, it looks really interesting.
Yes,
I was not interested in this film before I saw the trailer. Now I'm interested in the film. 100%.
Hold on,
Is that a video game?
But this is not based. This is based off a true story.
But the video game features in.
Yeah, the video game is featured, but they had a competition a few years ago where they had people who are playing the game, and whoever like won or something like that actually put them in into real cars to race in real races.
Yeah,
and it's based off, I think, the dude that won.
So the thought is that, you know, Gran Turismo is such an authentic racing simulation that the reflexes and the knowledge of the courses is so accurate to real life that they would realistically, if they once they trained your body up, because you got to train your body for the G-forces, that you would be able to perform similarly like that in real life. You know,
my man won.
Yeah, did that guy just like die immediately? That's what I would think.
No, he didn't.
I think he actually put him in the car, and he started winning.
Yeah, he did good. And he did good.
The whole thing is,
all right, now I have to see it. See, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Well, there you go. Because like Dido
Because
was
I was
saying.
terrible at that game.
Yeah,
my brother used to make me play, and I would end up falling off the damn cliff every time.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You couldn't do that in Gran Turismo.
Oh, yes, you could.
You must have broke the course somehow, because I've never seen that.
You talking about Grand Theft Auto?
Wasn't there one in the air? There was like a course on top of buildings.
Oh, she's definitely not talking about Gran Turismo.
You might be talking about Grand Theft Auto.
I don't know. My brother always made me play those damn racing games, and I was terrible at them.
It was probably a different one. Gran Turismo is
closed.
realistic.
Yeah, it's closed course.
Where it's like real courses in real life with real cars and
Need for Speed.
Yeah, that's
probably that's different. Yes, Need for Speed is different.
Need for Speed was fun.
Need for Speed was a lot of fun.
Need for Speed 2, still one of the best.
Yes. I miss Burnout.
Burnout was amazing.
Yes, I miss Burnout.
Burnout 3 was the best.
Oh, it was the best.
Crash.
Yes.
Challenges.
Yes.
They need to bring that back.
Yes, they do need to bring that back.
No, they tried. They brought back, what was it, Burnout Paradise, but it wasn't the same.
Burnout Paradise actually was the first open world Burnout, and I think it was great. But it got really repetitive with the open world. Like it felt like, it felt like the challenges weren't quite the same. Right?
I hate when they do that. Remember when they tried to do that NFL Blitz that played like more like real football?
NFL Street?
No, it was NFL Blitz. There was an NFL Blitz that played just like Madden.
Like Madden?
I'm like,
you ruined it.
Blitz.
Yes, you ruined it then. Right? Even once you do that was crazy. Fallen Marvel says Criterion is under EA. You already know what that's all about. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Speaking of EA, did you get around to playing Jedi Survivor?
I started it.
Yeah, I started it too.
It's fun.
Yeah, I really like that first level. What I really appreciate about this game is it doesn't make you relearn the Force. It doesn't make you learn, lightsaber fighting. They give you pretty much everything you had at the end of the first game. And then just build on that. Yeah. I thought that was brilliant.
And again, that's something that a lot of games, God of War is notorious for this. God of War, at the end of each game, you are a god, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And at the beginning of the next game,
you're depowered.
We gotta find a way to depower
Kratos.
We
gotta depower you. Yes. Hey, why don't you go ahead and eat some ambrosia?
Syndrome.
Yeah, eat some ambrosia. Yeah, remember that ambrosia that you ate? Yeah, that wore off. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, the only thing. Now, God of War 3 was awesome though. Regaining all my powers in God of War 3 was fun.
Yeah.
When they did it in God of War 2, I was so mad because they let you have that first level where you're just running around with godlike powers, just destroying everything.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get up against Zeus. Yeah, so you got to drain all your powers into the sword. You can win. I'm like, Kratos. Stop.
Tomorrow is May the 4th.
Yes, tomorrow is Star Wars Day. Speaking of Star Wars Day, tomorrow's the last day that you could watch Return of the Jedi live in theaters.
Really?
Yes, they say that we're going to end it on the May 4th.
Oh, well.
I guess I'm going tomorrow morning.
Right.
I can't.
Right?
Triage. Didn't I say? Triage.
Yeah. Again, I don't have to see this film, but I own it. I've seen it in theaters when they brought them all back.
The special edition, yes.
Yeah, so it's again. And also, Return of the Jedi is not my favorite one anyway.
It is not.
It is not a lot of people's favorite one. It was mine just because my dad, for some strange reason, didn't buy Empire Strikes Back. So it was weird when I
So
was
it was the
watching on
first Star Wars.
VHS.
It was the second Star Wars that you saw?
No, it was Star Wars and
Yep,
then Return of the
Return of the
Jedi.
Jedi.
I was
You
always
missed the
wondering,
whole
why
middle.
the heck is this guy in the Carbonite?
Right. Had a
I
whole
never
middle
saw
section.
it growing up Empire Strikes Back
That's
until way
funny.
later.
That's
Because he
funny.
didn't, for one reason, didn't have that one. I don't know why he didn't buy
That's
that one.
funny.
Again, they're gonna show the non-nub yub version. It's gonna be Ewoks blinking. It's gonna be a bunch of stuff that I just.
Oh no!
Again, I own the originals. On,
Right.
I hate to say it, DVD, because that's the only way you can get them.
You still got the VHSs too,
I
don't
got
you?
the Laserdisc too.
Oh wow!
But I have every
This
version
guy.
of Star Wars available.
Yeah.
But it's just one of those things. It's just like. I will go see Empire in theaters every single time they bring it out.
So
I don't
I'm
care.
curious.
That movie is fun to
I
watch.
have to ask you, and we're getting ready to end the show, but I have to ask you. I'm curious. When was the last time you popped in the original
The
edition?
original's like untouched.
Yes.
Last year.
Really? Okay. How'd you enjoy it versus the souped up one?
Oh no, I've always enjoyed those because here, and I even said it in the Blu-ray reviews I did, like when the Skywalker saga came out.
Yeah.
4K is too good for some of those old movies because again, remember a lot of those movies were matte paintings
Yes.
for background.
Yes.
You had camera tricks with like the stormtroopers were actually painted on the lens.
Uh-huh.
There was a lot of little things that they did, not on the lens, I'm sorry, on like glass. But there were a lot of things that they did that like when you see them super high def, it's just like, oh God, it ruins it. It like really ruins it. It's
Yeah.
just like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fun to watch the older ones because again the resolution is lower.
Mhm.
You know,
There's
you know,
something
this
about it.
works.
There's a charm about it.
Yeah, there's
Watching the
definitely a
old
charm
ones.
about it. Now, some of the changes he made for Empire to make Cloud City a more vibrant, busy
I
city.
like those.
I loved
Yeah,
all
I
of those.
love those.
Cloud City looked like a
It was-
bland, boring ass set. I'm like,
Right?
man, who
Right?
wants to live up here? You're gonna kill yourself by the end of the day.
Half them backgrounds that they had that was just a plain like taupe background, he filled in. Oh no, these were actually windows. Your mind is blown. You're like, what?
Yeah, it looked really good.
Yeah, it did. It
to
did.
me, Empire is the one that got the best treatment out of all the special editions.
Agreed.
Some of the stuff in Star Wars is like, whatever.
Agreed.
I just found out that Luke Skywalker's pants in A New Hope were just bleached like 401 Levi's. with
That makes sense.
The pockets cut off.
Yep.
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
That makes
wow.
sense. Oh,
Again,
you had to
gotta
get
remember, he
creative
was-
back in the day.
At the time,
Yeah.
he had a couple movies under his belt, but the studio did not want to make that film
No.
originally, which is insane to think of
Shoestring
now.
budget, and he pulled that off.
Oh, hell yeah.
That was awesome.
Killed it.
All right, guys. So we're getting ready to end the show, but next week we got a really special treat for you. We're gonna have an in-studio guest. Mike Castro from Nebula Amusements is going to be showcasing for us a new augmented reality sensation that is hitting all the comic book conventions. It's called Hado. It's like you can throw on a virtual reality set, and it's like you're having a anime battle in real life where you're chucking fireballs at people on the other side. You can create energy shields and stuff like that to block, and you play it in an arena like against other people. It's really interesting. I'm super excited to bring it to you guys. He's going to be in studio with us next week, and if you guys are planning on coming to New York City Comic Con, it's going to be there as well. When we
Motor City?
yeah, he's going to be at Motor City.
No, yes.
Ooh.
No, it's not that week. The Motor City is the following week.
No, that's what I'm saying. Though he's going to, isn't
But
he
he'll
bringing
be
that
at
to
Motor City Comic Con.
I'm sorry.
Isn't he bringing that to Motor City?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's going to bring
You
it to
said
Motor
New
City.
York. I'm like, ain't nobody going to New York.
No, I thought I said Motor City.
No, you said New York.
In New York.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
that was a Freudian
New
slip.
York,
My bad. My bad.
Spider-Man fan.
I apologize, guys. I meant Motor City Comic Con. Anyway, guys, we hope you had a great time watching the show. We look forward to entertaining you next week with our special in studio guest Mike Castro from our friends the Great Atakuji, GQ, and Lori Calcaterra. We will see you guys later. Hope you have a great weekend.
Say bye, everybody.
And may the 4th be with you all.
It will. May 4th will be with people, but then what about Revenge of the 5th?
Son of a bitch is dug in like an Alabama tick.
Revenge of the 5th, like a fifth of vodka.
Oh, Revenge of the
Revenge
Fifth.
of the 5th.
Revenge of the
Can't wait
Oh
for-
yes, like Cinco de Mando. Cinco de Mando. Cinco de Mando.
What's the matter? The CIA got you pushing too many pencils?
What was that over there, producer?
Cinco de Mando?
No, Revenge of the 5th.
Revenge of the Fifth.
Revenge of the Fifth. That actually wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, it would be a good.
That would not be bad. Yes. That would not be bad.
All right, so Return of the Jedi. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I might go see it tomorrow. I don't know. We'll see.
I'll be at work all day, so